Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 5th episode of the Phrogs podcast. I'm Brian Dates. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? I'm Silas Pandori. Yeah, I guess we got to number 5 here.
Number 5, official number 5, and about 50 test runs. But here we go again. And every time we do a podcast, we try new equipment. And it sucks trying to figure this out.
You know,
we need to hire somebody or get a volunteer involved.
When you expect or when you understand good quality,
yeah,
it sucks because there's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, we hear a lot of good quality out there. We're trying to get that back home here. Well, anyways, man, a lot going on in the world.
Yeah,
some unfortunate things going on since we talked last. I was checking the news. I don't know if anybody noticed what happened in Minnesota lately, but seems to be dominating the news cycle for everyone.
It seems to become part of the immigration task force dilemma.
Dude,
I don't know how to explain it.
It's the most polarizing issue we've had yet. It seems like, and it's just the polarization's just the divide's getting farther and farther, which really sucks. And I'm seeing it on Facebook and on social media. I'm sure we all are. And it seems like everybody's very fired up about their side, and there's not a lot of objectivity going on. And I've really been trying to, on my post, even though I'm still a biased guy, I try to be objective. So I will I'll tell everybody, let's remain objective. Let's get all the facts. We should desire to know all of the facts before we make a decision on how we're going to feel about things.
I think I feel like it's kind of hard to get all the facts these days.
It is.
It's
up to you.
And maybe it's because we're just inundated by facts all the time. I
don't know. Yeah, maybe so. Or maybe there's just a lot of bullshit and only a few facts.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's just...
Seems like there's two versions of reality going on. There's the right and the left at this point. And when you're on the right like me, I think that the media that the left watches, like MSNBC or MS Now, I think it's called. But they just changed the name. But that CNN, these are hypnotic, entrancing programs. So these people that run the mainstream news, these are military-industrial complex corporations.
Yeah.
I mean, there used to be a cartoon jingle that you'd see from like an old Saturday Night Live thing or something. I'll have to bring it up. It's a jingle singing about GE and it was like set to Schoolhouse Rock kind of thing from the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
Have you seen that thing?
I might have.
Let me tell you about GE. I don't know.
I think any mainstream news that's that's funded or that has as a private organization.
Yeah.
Right? They've got an agenda.
They're military-industrial complex corporations. Yeah. They're not just any corporation.
Yeah.
So, they have an agenda, like you said, and it gets handed down from the top. And then these media corporations all glom onto the same mantras, and they'll repeat them over and over.
Yeah.
Constitutional crisis, due process, 6-foot social distancing, all of that. It just gets immediately enters the vernacular of the public.
Yeah.
And depending on...
and by the way, don't speak your own mind when you work for us.
Oh, don't do that. Yeah, that's why I work for myself, and I talk to myself. So all my customers just think I'm crazy, and that's fine. But
I've heard a story or two about that. No.
Yeah, I bet, dude. I sing when I'm at work. I'm a carpenter and shit, but I can't help myself. Like, I know more song lyrics and rap lyrics than anybody I've ever met in my life. So every goddamn song that comes on, I know how to sing it. And not only do I do that, I can't necessarily sing it well, but I'll know the lyrics. But actually, I'll do like an impression of the person singing it.
Yeah.
So I have this compulsive singing habit that I do at work, and people just get used to it. I mean, at least it's not too horrible. I don't sound like a dead cat,
right?
Or a dying cat, I guess.
Yeah. So you call it carpenter?
Yeah, carpentry. Yeah, I'm the singing carpenter. I should change my name to that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It could be Bob Marley. It could be Tyler Childers. It could be ASAP Rocky. You never know. I could be doing Deadmau5. And I'll even sing the girl parts. No, I'm just kidding. I try not to.
There's some pretty brilliant lyrics.
Well, definitely, man.
Yeah. Hey guys, brilliant lyrics. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, if you memorize lyrics, it's kind of fun. But you were saying you don't memorize lyrics.
Well, it's always been more of a. They don't stick with me. All the time.
But you said you remember melodies and stuff in songs, but not so much the lyrics.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. But I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm on a podcast so that I can,
maybe I'll rub off on you. Well, don't say that again. I'm not going to rub off on Silas. I promise. That's not that kind of podcast. Well, anyway, the other stuff that I saw. So there's a lot of stuff back to what's going on in Minnesota. It's a serious topic, and we're not going to make light of it. And I'm not going to drive the wedge further between myself and people. I'll do that in the morning on Facebook, but when I'm on the podcast, I want to unify people the best I can.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you feel the same way. This isn't.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to see a civil war in this country.
Yeah, well, I think we need to actively
we're
try
already in a cold war.
to not have that happen.
Right. Well, we're in a cold civil war, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like a warm civil war.
I haven't heard that term, or that like an explanation before. But
yeah, that's what people are calling it. We're already in a cold civil war.
I could see how that, yeah, I would agree.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, so and I feel like somebody's pissing in the tub, and it's getting warmer and warmer in that tub.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and who's pissing in the tub is what I'd like to know. So immediately when these incidents happen, we've got 1 million camera angles, but they'll release them in a sequence where right off the bat, it usually looks bad for the authorities, I must say. But then as it goes on, like in the case of Alex Pratte, who it looked really bad. And then I saw a guy come out with the SIG, the type of gun he had, the pistol. It was actually the same pistol that's issued to ICE agents, interestingly enough.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this guy came up and showed a demonstration, clearly knew his stuff, and he showed that pistol. And he had like a screw in the trigger showing, for whatever reason, I'd have to rewatch it, but basically this gun is notorious for firing when it shouldn't be fired. And it's like something to do with it takes very little pressure. It's like a hair trigger.
So the screw what exactly?
So the screw was trying to prevent the trigger from firing. I think it was like showing he had something set up. I'd have to go back and look. But either way, the thing had a hair trigger.
Yeah, okay.
And if you've ever shot a gun with a hair trigger, it's just that. Like you touch the trigger and it goes off. Yeah. I'm not sure it's the exact same principle at work here. But nonetheless, it went off accidentally like 3 times with his demonstration. So it showed that even if Alex Pratte's pistol was still in his waistband, they may have grabbed a hold of it and it went off and it spooked an agent and he shot. But
is that a theory going on?
That's a theory, but luckily all of the Border Patrol and customs agents had body cams.
Yeah.
So that's good. So eventually these body cam images will come out and we'll get a much better and clearer picture of what the hell happened here. What happened is...
I can tell it's hard to talk about this topic.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important, though.
It is really
People need to be informed. We must stay objective to avoid civil war.
Yeah.
Speaking the truth.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, this is the second person that, has, passed away and, or been killed in Minneapolis, but.
Well, it's almost like they're engaging in combat, aren't they? Yeah. I mean, they're really getting involved in a very visceral way.
Yes, absolutely. And it's not just one side's fault versus the other. People are equally involved in this thing.
I'm not sure, man. I really feel like the leftist politicians and the leftist media have driven this narrative. Now, Tom Homing is now in charge. They got rid of the guy that was in charge, the Border Patrol guy. Right. So, ICE and Border Patrol are different groups or whatever, organizations.
Right.
But people blame ICE for every shooting. So immediately everybody's blaming ICE for the Alex Pratte shooting, but it was a Border Patrol and Customs agent that actually shot him. Now, that's really doesn't matter to the people on the left that are fired up. But the problem is their politicians have been encouraging them to go out and get and interfere in these investigations.
Yeah.
And Tom Homan replaced Bovino, who was in charge in Minnesota.
Right.
And he came out and he gave a press conference and he says, look, because of the interference, we have to send out a team to try to arrest an illegal criminal that we're trying to target. Instead of just sending a couple of agents and effecting an arrest or going to the prison and just having one agent get a prisoner handed over that's an illegal so they can deport them, because Minnesota prisons were not cooperating and giving over illegal criminals to Border Patrol or whoever, ICE. They were letting them back into the public, which is nuts.
Yeah.
So that being said, you know what I mean? So Homan's like, if you'd stop doing all this interference, we wouldn't have to send out 15 people into the neighborhood and make it look like some assault squad.
Yeah.
Because that all becomes necessary because we're trying to keep everybody safe, and we have to have a support team for the team that's going in to grab the guy, and then an escape team. And
it probably always looks like an assault squad.
I'm sure.
Attack squad.
Well, he said it normally doesn't.
Because how else are you going to? You've got all the protesters around.
Yeah.
Listen. I mean, it's like, there's a lot of people that need to actually retain, capture, whatever you want to call it, and
there's still people to get
and get out of the country.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
as a leaning more on the left hand side, like I still like honestly believe that that's what we need to work on doing.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people
focusing on the criminals, you're saying.
Yeah, focusing on the criminals.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it's really hard to go through those operations when you have, you know, an opposing force right in front of you.
Well, let me say that Tom Homan, during his press conference, said, I've worked under 6 presidents. He worked under George Bush Sr.
Yeah.
He worked under Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
He worked under George Bush Jr.
Right.
He worked under Barack Obama. And he worked under Donald Trump in his first term. I believe he worked under Ronald Reagan as well. So he said he actually took off for Biden's term. He retired. So Biden, you know, thank God he got rid of Homan. He opened the border, trying to replace all the people for the census. But
well, I don't know if it was Biden or his staff.
Well, whoever is in control of Biden, right? So anyway, Homan says, look, there's no difference between the Trump ICE and the ICE of Obama. He said it's the same job. This idea that we're doing anything differently, he said it looks bad because you've created such a disturbance with the politicians and the media trying to send citizens into harm's way, trying to interfere with federal deportation efforts. You know what I'm saying? It's a dangerous thing to send the citizenry to do.
It is.
And we saw how fired up Alex Pratte was. Now,
back a couple weeks in a row.
Yeah. Well,
from
from
the videos I've seen.
So Alex Pratte, from the first video when he got shot, it looked like Border Patrol was really rough with that girl who was getting interfering. You know, nonetheless, they shoved her very hard and she went flying. He went over to stand her up and then looked like he was in some sort of tussle trying to hold on to her.
It was an odd, like, I mean, I know because I know you, like, we look at these videos and we analyze them pretty quick, right? Like we do the best we can. Look at all aspects. We do the best we can, right? But at the same time, we don't necessarily, you know, draw judgments right away.
Right.
However, it did look like he got kind of dragged into a situation that, I don't know. Like,
well, he involved himself. He was out on the road. Like, he was directing traffic.
It's hard to even, like, you know, analyze it without having an opinion on it.
Well, let me say this, that, you know, a video came out this morning and a friend of mine sent it to me. Luckily, now that we have a podcast, friends of mine will send me videos really fast when they come out, which I really appreciate because I want to stay as informed as possible, especially if I have a platform. I need to be as objective as possible in my book. Yeah. So that being said, a video came out and it showed apparently they triangulated through facial recognition software all of the video that had been taken by ICE or somebody. I'm not exactly sure where this video came from, but the BBC got a hold of it and they released it. Now, the BBC is super sus in my book right off the bat. You know, you get into Jimmy Savile and all these people. So there's a history with BBC and, editing Trump's footage at January 6th, all that stuff. They got some shady operators in there. Nonetheless, it's just MI6 and MI5.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways.
So,
the point being that they showed Alex Pratte from a week prior being very violent and aggressive with agents. He kicked the truck.
Being a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he's being a dick. He's yelling.
Kicked the light out of the back of their car.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you know, anger gets a hold of you.
It does. Now, it made him look like and it was like he got tussling with the agents in the same way that he did the day he got shot.
Yeah.
So it was like a repeating pattern.
And didn't he have his firearm on him?
He sure did.
Yeah.
And it was visible. Right. He had everything was the same. You know what else was weird? He had the same goddamn clothes on.
Yeah.
The same. Now either that was Alex Pratte's favorite outfit. And he wore, that was his protest outfit, his uniform.
Or he just never changed.
Or he didn't change, or he didn't do laundry. Or who knows what Alex Pratte's deal is. But I thought it was odd that he was wearing the exact same clothes. Because if you were going to make a deep fake, that would be very useful for you to not have to change the man's clothes at all.
Well, okay.
And that shit was, like, the audio was so enhanced. He's out there like, you effing a-holes. You know, I can swear. I don't know why I'm not. But he was out there swearing out the storm.
It depends on which video you put.
Man, it was crystal clear video and audio. And there was more than one angle.
But isn't it, well, okay.
Of the new video. I saw two different angles of it.
I saw two to three. Two or three of them. I think it was two mostly, but.
Now, I don't know if it's a deep fake, but I'm saying we have to reserve judgment.
We have to be responsible.
How convenient is the narrative for to change the narrative back to this was a bad guy, because the left saying he was a peaceful nurse who wasn't capable of harming anyone.
Right.
Which didn't seem to be the case from that video, but that doesn't change the fact that the man died. God rest his soul. We don't want to see any more Americans.
I mean, we all want the
fighting
truth,
their government.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're looking for.
We don't want to fight the government.
We don't want to do that. Well, okay.
America is based on taking down tyrannical governments. If you feel, and unfortunately, people on the left are under the illusion that that's what's going on. It's not what's going on. They're being whipped up into a frenzy by globalists who want to destroy the United States, as far as I can tell. I think they want to dissolve our sovereignty and be a global government. Do you hear my kids or somebody?
I hear somebody on the stairs.
Well, whoever's on the stairs, get out of here if it's my kid.
Yeah. We got our headphones
could be a
on.
bat.
So,
we have a squirrel that lives in the attic.
It's a large.
At least one squirrel. There's a red squirrel and a gray squirrel.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And there's a gigantor bat that lived in here.
Black.
Yeah, I didn't see. I think I got rid of the bat.
Yeah.
Okay. Nonetheless, there could be anything. There's also children in the house. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Children anchor us. So.
They do. That's what's important. We need to all keep our shit together for our kids, first of all, because kids don't need to go through a civil war and be like, hey, why is Uncle Tommy coming up the yard with an AR?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of.
Where's Dad going? He's got his,
But speaking of which, I had a really important point I wanted to bring up, and it's something that people don't think much about.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people who own guns, and they bought a lot of guns recently in case something goes down. So the important thing is, though, especially if you have young kids or family, I mean, if something, God forbid, happened, nobody has ear protection. And one gunshot going off near anybody will make your ears ring. You won't be able to hear a thing. Yeah. So it's, people should, if they're preparing for, not civil war, but for anything, people are preppers.
Well, I mean,
one of the preparations should be good ear protection. And they actually sell earmuffs that have active noise cancellation with microphones. So you can hear your parents yelling to you, come on, let's get to the car.
Yeah, I feel like
But the gunshots are muffled.
Yeah. I feel like you're really thinking ahead on this one.
Well, I think it's a good thought, right?
Right, because that's not necessarily like an item that you put in your kid's school bag these days.
Oh, thank God. Well, Jesus. Well,
make sure you got your earplugs in case.
No, but you keep it with the prepping
out, a gunshot sound.
Yeah, God forbid. God forbid.
But
we don't want that.
I think a lot of people are probably underprepared.
Yeah, well, that's something I wanted to bring up because I think it's really important.
And
that people do that.
Yeah, everyone's got their own reality, I guess.
Well,
I don't know.
Hearing's important. It's not just cans of beans and bags of rice. You got to have, you got to have things to get your family to safety if something happens, because there's a lot of foreign threats. Regardless of what's going on internally, and I don't think we're going to get to civil war, because I think we can. I think we can agree that it's disruptive enough to run out of milk downtown. What we don't want is a civil war. You know what I'm saying? I don't need the inconvenience. I'm just trying to get by like everybody.
I spent a good portion of my life, just riding the wave of being born in America.
Yeah, let's go, man.
And
it's
having some
awesome.
beautiful, kind, and loving parents.
Yeah,
that really taught me some really
They are very sweet people.
Yeah,
I've met them both.
Yes, thank you, man. I
Absolutely,
really appreciate that.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think you've met mine. Mine are very sweet. Oh yeah, okay.
Your son's birthday party. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, yep. But I had some really great conversations with them too.
Thank you. Yeah, well, the cheese is sliding off the cracker, at this age. So you just hold on for the good moments.
The apple, but remember, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Well, shit, my apple fell off a long time ago, buddy.
Okay, all right.
My cheese and apples are falling off.
Anyways, I'm
doing okay. I'm hanging in there. But anyway, getting back to I'm not sure what we were diverting off into, but
I was talking about prepping.
Yeah.
And
did you have
it's
a final
funny,
thought on
when COVID started, Corona.
Yeah,
coronavirus. What we used to call it.
COVID-19.
COVID-19.
People were dropping dead in the streets in China.
Oh yeah,
Here it comes.
I remember seeing those videos.
Nobody got the flu that year. That was quite interesting. But everybody got COVID.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked.
I don't know.
But anyways,
you could be positive with no symptoms. There was all
when it became clear in the U.S. that we had a problem on our hands. Right, there was clearly a problem. Things were we were unsure where this was going.
That?
Yeah.
All right, man.
But we were unsure where this was heading. Right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of being explained to us in a way that, it could be fairly detrimental to our to our personal family life.
Yeah, you were going to get your family sick.
I'm going to take care of my family.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a lot of people felt that way.
Yeah. I mean, that was the first thought I had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I went through my house and I collected all my, you know, my camping stuff.
Did you really?
Yeah, no.
Good for you.
I know, right. But at the time, I didn't have any firearms in the house at the time, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I collected all the things that I thought that would be useful in the scenario where I may have to leave the house with my family in some sort of emergency situation.
Want to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
And you can't bring a lot with you. So you got to be really, smart about it. But thank you. I think I'm good on it if you're good.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
But yeah, so it was like,
it was very strange when COVID started. I remember I wore a mask early. Nobody in the store. I went to Walmart. Nobody else had on a N95 mask. But I'm a carpenter and I do drywall, so I got a whole box of the suckers.
Yeah, right.
So
I put one on. Scared as fuck.
No, I wasn't, because I was listening to Alex Jones. So I got the inside scoop on what was happening right off the bat. And the guy was on top of it. So I saw the scam a mile away. And I always thought to myself, because I knew that
the scam, a lot of people died.
Well, no, they didn't. What? Yeah, I don't know, man. What happened to that death counter? That thing just disappeared, didn't it?
What?
There used to be millions of people. Yeah, it was on the news.
Yeah.
Remember, they used to have it down on the bottom.
State started that?
Now there's 3 million people dead, or however many people were dying.
Yeah.
Basically what they did is they had Dr. Burks came out with the other Redfield and the rest of them for Warp Speed. Operation Warp Speed. And she actually admitted, she said, no, the reporter said, no, you classify it at the hospitals that people died from COVID-19. She said, no, actually they're instructed that they died with COVID-19. So every single patient that comes into the hospital gets tested for COVID-19 with a PCR test, which unfortunately the inventor of the PCR test said it's useless to detect a virus like that. Yeah. Nonetheless, because they run through cycles. If you run through enough cycles, you'll get the bubonic plague or whatever virus you want. So anyway, it'll say false positives. Nonetheless, people, there was a lot of scams like that going on. But anyway, I was back to, I lost what I was saying. Will you bring me back?
So, well, I mean, it was the COVID thing and the prepping thing, and then
we lost I'll have to go back and post, and we'll edit in some kind of an explanation for that. But like I was back to Walmart, like I had an N95 mask early, and nobody had it. I remember everybody looking at me weird, and then I saw these one other couple had them, and they were these tall, like weird looking Ithaca people, like that were really like crunchy. That I really like those people nonetheless.
Tall. I might know that
they
guy.
had
brand 6'9".
They went and got fucking mountain bikes, both of them, and they had camping shit, and they were out of there. They were getting away from people, like avoiding them. They were swimming through the crowd, getting out of the store with their mountain bikes, and I don't know where they thought they were heading.
Wait,
but they went
bikes in Walmart.
No, they were buying brand new mountain bikes and had like camping gear.
Oh,
and they were the only other people in the store with masks on. It's because they were really scared.
Okay, all right.
So they were fucking going to the mountains or something. I don't know, but they were prepping it. They looked freaked out. It was funny.
Now.
And then all of a sudden, I took off the mask, and everybody else had the mask on, and I was like, it was a cool juxtaposition.
Right.
But the thing I was saying is they had like the testing with the PCR test, right? And everybody that went to the hospital, I remember what I was talking about. Everybody that went to the hospital, they said if you died with COVID-19. Then even if you fell down and bumped your head and died, they counted you as a COVID-19 death. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that I lost my track of thought on that. But it's an important point.
Yeah.
It was more than nomenclature. It was a fucking lie. So all these people that died of anything else, if they tested them and came up with COVID-19, not only did they have financial incentives to classify it as such, they just counted up this huge death counter, which conveniently disappeared.
Yeah.
And you don't hear anybody dying all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Herd immunity and the rest. They had scare tactics galore.
Yeah.
And
it sucks, man. I mean, for everybody.
It was a global program, too. They had something called Event 201 that took place not long before, only months before the COVID-19 outbreak. And it was a Bill Gates run simulation for, leaders of like the WEF type crowd. That went through what to do as a global response if there's a pandemic, a deadly pandemic, and how to coordinate the medical and the media and everything. And they came up with these arbitrary things, which were admittedly arbitrary, like the 6 foot distancing. Dr. Fauci said he just made that up in emails. A lot of it. The N95 mask didn't stop anything.
Yeah, but like who came up with a lot of that stuff? It was
well, it was the Dr. Birx and the Warp Speed, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Redfield.
Yeah, and Bill Gates.
Bill Gates was the head of the World Health Organization along with China. So Bill Gates was the biggest funder of the World Health Organization at the time.
Right.
Which was also, and the second biggest funder was China.
So they just said,
and they were running the fucking game, dude. They were running the game straight. Yeah. They were sending videos when that stuff happened of people dropping dead from China. Yeah. You remember those videos?
Oh, yeah.
People just collapsing in the street.
No, yeah.
And everybody's like, oh my God, that's coming to America? What the hell?
That doesn't look good.
Yeah, man. But Alex Jones was saying, so I was telling people ahead of time, like, look, I was hearing on Alex Jones, they're going to have like testing at like the malls. It'll be shut down as testing facilities and they're going to run this whole fucking shebang.
Yeah.
And don't take the vaccine is what I heard. Now, I'm not going to get into that because that's a controversial subject. It's very safe and effective and it works like a charm. So,
yeah, well,
that's what you're supposed to say if you don't want to get demonetized on YouTube.
Maybe, right?
I don't know about that, bro. But I'm going to leave that subject alone only because
people that survived didn't need
YouTube
the vaccine,
will cut you out, apparently, if you don't say it's safe and effective and safe for children.
All right.
Now, Dr. Robert Malone says that it's not safe for children. YouTube. Well, I could go into that maybe I should, but this isn't about making money. I just want to make sure that we don't get cut off the air.
We will.
But we obviously, it's a wink, wink kind of thing. So I have a lot of thoughts on it. I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me. I'm a fucking idiot. I do Trump impressions in my attic with my buddy.
Right.
We're smoking a blunt. Don't listen to me. But, I have information and I'll share it.
You got it, man. Yeah, you got lots of information, man.
Yeah, sure. So anyway, I have kind of like this weird photographic memory. I'll forget what I'll forget what I was talking about 2 seconds ago.
How do you know if you have like a photographic memory?
Well, because the things you can fact check what I said.
Some of it, but
you may.
Yeah.
Well, just like the song lyrics thing, and then I'll remember shit I see on the news.
Right.
So I'm a pain in the ass to debate with because I'll remember all the facts that I saw.
Yeah.
And if you don't come with equal like fucking mental like clarity on it, I kind of will bowl people over sometimes. But much smarter people than me would just spank me because they're smarter. But I do well in my circles, arguing and pissing people off.
You do, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I at least piss people off. I don't know if I convince anything.
About it too, man.
Well,
do we have more shit on the fucking
on what?
On the list there?
Oh, we got a lot. So yeah, let's get to 3-Eye Atlas. So everybody forgot about 3-Eye Atlas, which was the interstellar object, the third interstellar object. That's what the name is. 3-Eye Atlas.
That was a joint filled with roaches, right?
It was something like that from planet.
A bunch of resin left over.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, from the planet Lucifer. Yeah, or whatever, Moroni or whatever the hell. Anyway, we haven't heard much about it because it came and went. And there was a lot of weird energy around that time. We started this podcast around the time the 3-Eye Atlas was getting closest to the Earth.
Yeah, there was a lot
of like portal energy, if you believe in that kind of stuff. Like manifestation energy.
Well, there was a lot of good stuff to talk about, like interesting things.
Yeah, it was shit.
What's beyond us, and
it made you think a little bit, especially Avi Loeb.
And do you think our nuclear missiles are going to be able to blow up their force field on their,
I bet you they had a plan to try. Yeah. They may have done it. We just don't know. They probably did send a little missile right up its asshole, right on the way out. They're like, just like a little dickhead. So? Yeah, probably. It'll catch up with them in like 500 years and just like, who knows? The thing was weird though. It was a comet. And but it also did weird things like send like a gas jet toward the sun.
Oh yeah,
that went for like hundreds of fucking, hundreds of thousands of miles or something.
Tail.
Yeah, it was 2 tails, which was anomalous. It changed like speed, I believe. It changed direction at some point. There was like a lot of anomalies with this thing. At some point, I heard it was made mostly of like this nickel. So it would have been like chromium type finish. Now that could be bullshit, but I saw these dumb pictures.
I think it was the exhaust had nickel in it.
Yeah, it was off gassy like nickel.
Like more likely to be, a manufactured exhaust system other than just like a pile of rocks frozen together that's just melting in the sun's rays. But
it was making its own light and shit too.
So that was a fun one to get into.
Fuck yeah. Well, anyways, we haven't heard anything about it lately, so we looked up 3-Eye Atlas, and John Greenwald Jr. is this dude that's the founder of something called the Black Vault, which is a massive online archive of declassified government records that he does a FOIA request for, which if you don't know what a FOIA request is, it's a Freedom of Information Act request, where any government document or body cam footage or footage in a federal building from the cameras, it's all available and accessible if you want to FOIA request
part of the public,
you can go to the county clerk or whoever.
At least in America. But.
Yeah, you just fill out a form and you ask for, you know, if you want to know the salaries of all the whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a million reasons people do it, like First Amendment auditors and
I
stuff.
wouldn't want to give up my salary, you know, just somebody walks in with a camera and be like, you know, oh, yeah, you want to know my name?
It sucks. Oh, it sucks for them, man. These poor people work in these post offices. These guys come in. Now, I love Sean Paul Reyes, the First Amendment, or what is it? Long Island.
He does such a good job, dude.
He's great, man. Yeah. Well, he's a cool dude.
Well, it takes a lot of...
you don't want him on your ass. I know he's got a fucking LED truck where he'll show up outside your house with a sign truck, like running movies of you being a douchebag. Run it
up and back. It's like Back to the Future, you know. But
he had a big run-in with that cop. Or something.
Right. But so Sean, he's cool. He does a good job at that.
Yep, sure does. He's probably the best in the business
rights as Americans.
Yeah, well, he stays calm. That's why he's good at his job. He never loses his cool. Really.
That's why I was going to mention that.
Yeah, he did against this one police officer. He had a run-in, but I don't want to bring that up. That's not really my business.
Oh, that was that one time he got angry.
It was a big thing. Yeah, you don't want him outside your house with that damn truck, I'll tell you. But anyway, he does a good job.
Yeah.
And it's an important thing to keep our rights because we don't want to forget that we do have there is no expectation of privacy in public.
Right.
And when you're in public, you're on like thousands of cameras a day. Yeah. Without your consent.
You don't even know, you don't realize
private or public.
I mean, I guess, because you just walk underneath them. You just walk past them. And like most 9 times out of 10, people don't even know they're there.
You don't even notice them. Or you just take them for granted. So somebody standing there with one more camera, because it's associated with a person you don't know, it feels very invasive.
Yeah.
And it really pisses people off sometimes. And they want to fight you for it and everything, dude. They're like, don't fucking put that camera in my face. And they just...
I'm not used to this.
It's
not,
And they have an attitude, a lot of the guys, like Amagansett Press and some of these other ones. Like I watched a bunch.
True North Transparency.
Yeah. There are a lot of them get smart ass and shit.
Like Canada, I think.
Whoever, there's a bunch of them. But they, I know the cops probably can't stand some of them. In another way, maybe some of them do if they're constitutionalists. But I think they serve an important function.
Jason and his son.
That's the Amagansett Press.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and the Watchmen. Watching the Watchmen.
And,
he has a show called.
These
are YouTube channels of First Amendment auditors who basically, those guys say they're making travel videos and they'll go to people's towns and set up with these fucking really elaborate camera setups. And people are like, "Why are you filming my store?" And
he's like, "I'm
because I want to." Yeah. What, you got a problem?
He's got literally here because I'm just filming a little travel video with my son.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm filming a travel video with my son.
Yeah, people.
He's got pepper spray too. If somebody gets up on his shit, he'll give you the sauce. That's pretty entertaining.
Pretty good. You know what he's really good at is having a conversation and like never kind of insulting the other person.
Oh, he's insulting as fuck. Really? You think so?
Yeah, no.
I think he got a real dicky side to him, but that's what's fun about it.
Yeah,
you're right. He does give you a chance to be respectful.
He does.
He'll give you.
And
you gotta watch it.
I'd like to try it with him, but
that would be fun. We should jump in on one if we ever see him around. We'll be like, hey man, let's get you on the Attic Frogs podcast.
I would love to. Yeah,
it'd be cool.
Yeah, but anyways, no, I think that he's just making a video with his son on the road.
Well, that's what they say. Yeah. He's not trying to piss anybody off or anything.
The joke is that that's exactly what they're doing.
Right.
And there's a problem with it.
Right. Well, FOIA request is how we got talking about this. So back to this shit with 3 Eye Atlas. John Greenwald, the founder of the Black Vault, massive online archive of government documents. He tried to FOIA, but he went to try to get whatever government documents they had on 3 Eye Atlas. And it turns out they said they could neither confirm nor deny the existence of records.
Right.
But it turns out that with the other interstellar objects, they also did that with the Oumuamua one that came before that Avi talked about.
They looked for the same documents with those ones?
Well, what they claimed was that there was sensitive sensor data that they didn't want to give up because it gave military scanning equipment and whatever they used to try to track 3 Eye Atlas. They couldn't give the data over because it would give up government secrets. It was classified.
No, I know.
So that may be the case, but it's probably not. It's probably like a UFO ship or something.
Right.
I don't know. It made me want to start a podcast. I'm going to give it to God and 3 Eye Atlas.
What were they trying to hide? They were trying to hide that I don't know.
That it wasn't what they said it was.
It's just another alien spacecraft going through our solar system.
They were very quiet about it while it was going on.
Yeah,
I know that.
You guys, you're not ready to understand that yet. They're just going by. They're just, actually, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
This is the third one that we notice, you know.
This is only the third one. So the one before this was called Oumuamua, which is a stupid-ass name. That's why I don't even like talking about it. But, you know, the same guy, I think Avi Loeb is a Yale scientist. He's a Harvard scientist. Harvard scientist. Yeah, he is Harvard.
Avi Loeb?
Yeah, he's a Harvard guy.
Yeah.
So he's like a serious scientist that actually is respected, and he's the only one that will bravely come out and say that it's extraterrestrial. And he gets mocked by some of his peers, but most people respect him enough that they don't mock him.
It kind of sucks that you have to call it bravely.
Yeah, right? Well, you do have to be brave, man.
But like
it's still a weird subject, even though the government's admitted they're
about
real.
The fact that we might not be the only people in the
government's literally admitted it, folks.
Universe.
Yeah, the government's literally admitted it.
I don't know.
It's over. There's no more mockery. It's a real thing. And I've seen weird shit. I don't know what it was.
God, man, we're looking for God.
Well, I'm looking for whatever I can make sense of. I don't think I need to have faith, because looking around us into the universe, like at night, you know, like I brought up before, like, you know, like people forget that the night sky, when you look out into space and you see all the stars, that's the real sky that's there all the time. We get deceived by like the sun coming up and making the sky blue or gray. Yeah. You know, that's why like the morning sun is the great deceiver, Lucifer.
The morning star. That atmosphere that we had that protects us.
As soon as the sun comes up,
you know,
it cuts you off. It cuts you off from that infinity when you look out into the night sky, and it removes you from that reality, and it puts you into your mundane, they say, which means earth-like. You know, like mundane means you know, connected to the earth. Puts you into your mundane existence with your blinders on to infinity, and you lose your connection with God. So the morning sun is the great deceiver, the morning star from the Bible. And then during the day, you know, you forget that you're connected to.
That's how it's said.
Yeah, that's my interpretation of it. It may be wrong,
right. No,
but that's what I like to think of it. It's what makes sense. So you don't need to have faith if you kind of look at stuff in more of a literal sense. You know, there's enough amazing, like we don't know why we have a star over there that's projecting us here, but we do. So, you know, you can look at that and that's tangible. And we're in a spiral galaxy. That's tangible. You know, like there's things to look at. Yeah. That you don't have to. Those are godlike things.
It's helpful to have the tangible things. You know?
Yeah, there's enough amazing things that you don't even have to personify it with anthropomorphized gods and demigods.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You can just look at what you got.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to. You know, sometimes you have to like look at the jump that you built, you know, that you're going to send your bike off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude. Hope you got some shocks.
Yeah, you're like,
we used to do that no shock.
I think the landing's going to work over there.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be fine.
We used to do, I wrecked all the time. I definitely have CTE from all the wrecks on my bikes growing up, dude. I would like go no-handed down hills and grot and just like big old grin on my face and just wreck and fucking.
Yeah. I've still got like dents in my, you know, shins.
Yeah, sure.
All the wipeouts on, you know, like landing on the top of the, you know, half pipe.
That's right. You rode BMX.
Trying to learn, well, I did a little bit of BMX.
Yeah,
I was more like rollerblading.
Okay. You were a rollerblader. Yeah. Now that can be cool.
Oh, yeah. It was fucking cool, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And
yeah, no doubt. They can get pretty sick on those.
I tried my hand at BMX, and it was.
BMX
I could do some cool
shit.
I could do like a tail whip and, you know, and like a fucking, you know, handlebar spin. And
hell yeah. That's better than I could do, bro.
I don't know.
I saw a kid do a tail whip once.
Decent fucking bunny hop,
amazing.
You know.
Yeah. Doing tricks on a BMX, because a bike will mess you up. Just banging your shin on it will ruin your day. Yeah. So falling off that thing onto the concrete,
on the corner of the half pipe, like at the top of the half pipe.
Yeah.
When I'm on a BMX bike trying to learn how to do tricks in the half pipe, and I would fall off and land on my shin on the fucking corner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I still got dents from those, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, I've got a terrible shin injury. I don't even want to talk about it.
I was just trying. I got dents in my knees, man. You know, like I don't know, but
anyway, I saw something else I wanted to bring up.
At least I don't have metal parts in my body.
Well, that's good.
Bones.
Yeah, I don't think I have any screws or anything like that. Thank God.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right.
Yeah, I have had a couple of broken bones. Nothing like that.
Yeah, now everybody that's watching that segment right there. They're going to be like, oh, fuck these guys.
Yeah, a bunch of pussies. I'm like half metal. Like some people. I know a couple of people that are.
Yeah, I could do like a helicopter on skis.
I know people that have broken their necks like a few times, and they just don't even give a shit. You know, just do it again.
Well, okay, you got those people too.
Oh yeah, there's those people. So anyway, something I want to bring up. There was an interesting point. So I was looking up the _1 podcast, which is, of course, Joe Rogan. So when you ask Gemini, Google AI.
I mean, you know, by the numbers. Right?
By the numbers. So they say there's no official, viewer.
Joe Rogan's all right.
There's no official rating system for podcasts for some weird reason.
Yeah.
So there's no organization that's making a list that's like everybody points to. No, that's what AI said. There's no official rating system. Yeah. However,
AI
they judge it by numbers of subscribers and views and all of that now. Yeah. So Joe Rogan's #1. Yeah. #2, interestingly, is something called Crime Junkie, which I'd never heard about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard.
So I was immediately like, Crime Junkie. And I was like, it's a true crime podcast. And I immediately started thinking about how much girls like what we call murder porn or murder corn. I'll have to blank that because you're not allowed to say the PORN word.
No. So how does it become porn?
Well, it's just funny because women become addicted to watching these true crime, like ID Channel, Discovery, whatever it is.
Yeah. So I've noticed that quite often. And
it turns out I looked up what the viewership of women that watch the Crime Junkie show is, and it's estimated to be 85 to 94% female. I bet you it's closer to 94%.
So what's the
female viewership?
Yeah, what's the percentage of dudes that watch it also? Because
only probably like 15
out of
6.
ones that have a a female.
Oh, you're talking about people who identify.
Well, no,
it's saying probably made up. Yeah, the other 6% is just for trans women. It's all women. Yeah. So the point is, all right. Here's the reason why.
I'll get back to my point later.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, here's the reason why they watch it. I was interested, why are women so addicted to these shows? We all know they love them, but why exactly? And it turns out psychologists say that they have this. They gravitate toward them because they want to have red flags and see pattern recognition as a survival mechanism, because women are always a threat of the stronger sex, males.
Yeah.
Women get assaulted. Women get murdered all the time by men. They're in danger of men. That's why they have these jokes about, would you rather be with a man or a bear? Well, your chances are, so it turns out that they have these psychological drivers, though. So it's to learn red flags and understands a killer's MO, which is a modus operandi, or how they operate.
Yeah.
And they want to develop mental strategies for escaping dangerous situations, which makes a hell of a lot of sense. So they're sitting there running scenarios,
and they need somebody there to protect them, take care of them, and make sure that.
Well, you'd hope so, yeah. I'd like to think I can protect mine.
I would think about it the same way, coming from them. I can do the physical protection myself.
Yeah, that's what's nice about being in a relationship.
Emotional protection.
Yeah, well, that's a good trade-off. I think as men, it is our job to protect our families, and we look for nurturing from our women. Yeah. So, they need daddy and we need mommy. That's just how it goes, seems like.
Yeah, it's necessary, man.
Sometimes. I'm sure feminists will hate that idea, and that's their right to. They can hate whatever they want. Yeah. Nonetheless, it's really interesting why women, so they have this thing called empathy-driven preparation, which is just running, they mirror the woman that's the victim in the scenario, or whoever's the victim. And then they have this deep empathy where they almost just run trial runs with these people.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I thought it was very interesting, and it's a very intelligent,
I think we were talking about this before the show.
Yeah, I brought it up, and I don't want to tell you too much about it.
No.
But it's also that it allows them to watch it from a safe distance, which is a good thing.
No.
But no, it's a really interesting fact. And I don't think a lot of people ever really think about why is that, So
what were we just talking about?
Women watching these murder true crime shows because of, just as a preparation, because they are unfortunately in danger, and hopefully we enter a world at some point that's enlightened, and people aren't in danger like that. That would be nice.
That would be great.
Yeah, there's some horrible stuff that happens in the world, man. It's so depressing to watch those shows.
Yeah,
I don't like watching them because it's such a bummer.
The one I liked was it's called Alone.
Okay.
And so
what was that about?
The survival shows.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that.
There was Bear. All right. So you got Bear Grylls, and then there was the other dude that would go out and videotape.
The Survivor Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Les Stroud was his name. Right. Yeah, he was awesome.
That guy too, probably.
Yeah, he got into Bigfoot and stuff too. He's really into Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I think thinks he had some experience.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think Bigfoot might be, something. It's possible.
Well, Bigfoot, dude, I have a buddy.
Bigfoot goes into another dimension. That's why you can't see him.
That's very possible.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have seen Bigfoot. So either they're mistaken or somebody's seeing Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And it's like I would say millions of people at this point around the world have seen a Bigfoot or a Yeti or whatever it is, a skunk ape, whatever it is in their neck of the woods.
Yeah. Abominable snowman.
However, I have a buddy right here in Dryden, New York. I have a buddy that works as a carpenter. And he's a hunter, an avid hunter. And right in Dryden, if you go out on Yellow Barn Road far enough, you end up in the state lands, okay?
Yeah.
And there's these high-tension power lines that run all the way to Lake Danby, and there's just like a swath of land that these lines go down.
Yeah.
And so he's out there hunting, okay?
Yeah.
And he said he's all camoed out, and he's got his crossbow, and he's looking through his really high-dollar scope. And a deer walks out of the tree line, and then it's like the mode, swath with the power lines.
Yeah.
And he sees a deer come out, and it's like grazing. So he's looking through his scope at it, and he said all of a sudden the deer like looks up at something quickly. So he looks in the direction that the deer's looking, and he said he sees this 8 or 9 foot, red-haired, really wide hips.
I feel like you've told me this story.
I probably have, but I haven't told the people at home.
No. I don't think we've put it on the podcast.
It said he said it had really wide hips, interestingly, and really red, furry looking hair all over its body.
Okay.
And it had really long arms.
It
was an Irish Sasquatch. Yeah. An Irish Sasquatch, laddie.
In Iceland, in Greenland, whichever one it is.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. I do. Anyway.
This is going to make
sense.
So
it walked across the mode area, and he said it threw its arm up on a pole. And he said it had like a big cranial ridge. It didn't have hair on its face, but it had a big cranial ridge and a big chin. Okay. So it had like that, that Neanderthal look to it. Okay? Neanderthal. It's the stupid ass way to say it. It's Neanderthal.
No, that's
Fuck
how you
that
say
shit.
it.
I'm going to say it Neanderthal. I started saying Neanderthal because I want to sound scientific. It's Neanderthal. I'm going back.
When you say with the tall, because the eyebrows.
Only dorks say Neanderthal. I'm going to go back to Neanderthal.
That's when the
anyway, this goddamn thing walks over, throws its arm up on one of the poles of the power lines. So that's how he knew how tall it was later, because he saw where its arm went up on the pole, and he could measure its height, which was enormous.
Yeah.
He said it went up through its arm on the pole and looked back, kind of like it was resting on the pole for a second. It looked back behind the way it had been walking, which was very ape-like. Like he did the swinging arms. It was fucking perfect. It was like Bob Hierophant or whatever the fuck the guy.
Is that,
That's a long story. Anyway, Hieronymus, that was his name. So anyways, he looks back, and all of a sudden he turns his scope again, and he looks at the tree line. And he said one that was like 5 foot tall, looked the exact same way, but it was like 5 foot tall, walked out. And it was being really like, really trepidatious, and carefully moving and like looking around. And and he said he looked up and saw the deer, and then he looked over toward the tall one, and then just turned around and bolted back into the woods. And the big one turned and bolted the other way into the woods.
Deer by the leg,
bro. And then I've heard, I listen to a lot of UFO podcasts and stuff, and I heard this one guy come on and say that there's a lot of Bigfoot and UFO sightings around high tension power lines like this.
Oh.
So that was interesting. Yeah, I put that together later. I was like, wow, there's like a dude that like wrote a book about it. So, I don't know, there's like a lot of electromagnetic power around those things.
Yeah.
People can get leukemia from living under them. So there's a big electromagnetic field.
Before,
So maybe it is an extra dimensional portal.
Down for the electricity, right?
Yeah. There's like a radiation, Either way,
it's just
really interesting story.
Wires going over.
Yeah. Well, and to follow up with that story, interestingly, there was a UFO flap that was very famous back in like the 60s. It was called the Great Ithaca UFO flap. Flap. That's what they call it when there's a lot of UFO sightings in a short amount of time.
Is that what it's called?
Or in a short period. Yeah, flap.
Are you sure?
I swear to God. I'm a ufologist from back in the day, bro.
All right.
Whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
That's funny. Okay, yeah.
So in Newfield, New York, which is outside Ithaca, beautiful place. There's a place called Connecticut Hill, which is very famous for having like a vortex where Bigfoot and UFO sightings happen all the fucking time.
Vortex. Yeah.
So there was a big flap that happened. A lot of UFO sightings happened in Newfield, to the point that J. Allen Hynek, the guy that was in charge of Project Blue Book for the government to go around and follow up on big UFO sightings.
Yeah.
The guy would go and set up and talk to people and get their interviews. So he showed up in Newfield and set up shop. And one of the people who talked to the newspapers was this guy named Donald Chizar, who's unfortunately passed now. He was 14 years old at the time. And out of the hundreds of people, he was the one that they had in the newspaper and in the magazines talking about this.
Right.
He said he saw a flying saucer hovering above the road, I believe. And in there, he could see a window. And inside were what he called ruddy-looking people that looked, that had wide hips and red hair. He called it like ruddy hair or something, rough hair.
Yeah.
But he described a very similar creature. I think he said they had like a Sasquatch or like an ape primate like face. I'd have to go back and look.
Sure.
But it was a very similar description.
Reptilian. That's
not these ones. Maybe they were. Maybe they were in like costumes. It was their Halloween. They're like, let's go fuck with these people. There's a connection to these Sasquatches to UFOs all over the place in ufology. So.
Well, I was just pulling up
They're from the next channel of Earth Over.
Project Blue Book right here.
Yeah, Project Blue Book and J. Allen Hynek. Yeah, he actually set up shop in Newfield.
Hynek UFO report.
Hell yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, that's cool. I never heard that before.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, hopefully, is my phone still on? My phone was very low on its battery. We have it plugged in. If so, I'm sharing UFO stories, but I find it very interesting. Luckily, it's good.
Yeah.
I still see my phone.
I think you're on there, man.
Yeah. So, Sasquatch is a very interesting thing. There's a lot of stories that are fantastic out there. No good videos at all. All the videos suck. They're all bullshit. It'll be like some leafy picture. You can barely make it out, and everybody's like jerking. Now, there was a very famous Bigfoot video by a guy who went out and took it. I can't remember his name. It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
But he took the one where the Bigfoot's swinging its arm, and they always have it on the Bigfoot shows on Discovery Channel, and it's up in the rocks of California.
Yeah. It might have been Harry and the Hendersons. I'm going to say it twice now. Yeah.
That was a good freaking movie. I got to go back and watch that.
I watched that in like 25 years.
Dude, that's a good ass movie. Yeah, I love those. All of them. I watched them in like a row one time when I was a kid.
They were funny as fuck back then. Even when I was a little kid. Like,
I bet they'd be good now. Probably they suck now. We'll see.
Right. Yeah.
But either way, there was a guy in a suit called Bob Hieronymus. Everybody thinks it was a scam.
Yeah.
And this guy walks just like the damn Bigfoot, and he's as tall as the Bigfoot. And another guy claimed to have made the suit that he wore, and it had like tits and everything. But it was like this like really expensive Hollywood ape suit that the guy sold in this magazine from Hollywood. Like he had his own like dress shop or shit where he made like costumes, like $high costumes. And this was something he sold, like a female. And apparently he made the suit that was in that very famous Bigfoot thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Complicated story.
I think people at home that have seen that Bigfoot footage, if we brought it up, I'm hoping maybe we can bring it up and edit it in. We can figure that out.
Bigfoot earlier.
Yeah. Most people have seen the one I'm talking about if they watch those shows. But an interesting story. So a lot of it's a scam when it comes to the video is the point I'm making. Even the most famous ones. I don't believe that old Bigfoot video at all.
Yeah.
I think it's a total fucking thing.
I remember part of what I was going to say is Adobe. I work in Adobe products.
Yeah, sure.
Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign.
Yeah, you didn't know
the whole run of them.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's like a new feature because of AI.
Mm-hmm.
Photoshop now has you can load like a fairly low res image or video, and it will upscale. It'll upscale the video. It'll invent resolution.
Wow.
Which is the first time. I mean, it came out last summer.
It's kind of what our brains do. Yeah. They invent resolution.
Yeah.
Your brain fills in a lot of the little pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of that's necessary.
What were you saying about it though?
Well, I mean, because our eyes can do that.
That's exactly
we don't, but we see the computers trying to replicate.
This.
Yeah. What we see. And they're still trying to catch up a little bit.
Stereoscopic visions. When we see things, it comes in black and white, upside down and backwards.
You think so?
Yeah, it does. It comes in 2D, and your brain puts it together through your eyes.
RGB 000.
It goes back. It goes through your visual cortex and collects in the back of your brain somewhere, and then it gets sent. It makes an emotional decision up in the higher regions. It gets sent for processing up into the mammalian brain, and your brain makes a decision about what it's seeing all the time based on emotional history.
No, I thought that's what my computer was having a problem with.
Well, it may be. I went into what our brain does
because it's just ones and zeros.
Right, that's true.
That's all the computer sees.
Rods and cones, maybe.
Right, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that's all the computer sees is ones and zeros.
So you would. It seems that's
in order to.
That's right.
And I even had somebody prove it to me one time, and like I was taking like a Photoshop, like training or something, and they basically proved the fact that computers don't see in color.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's not that they're seeing, but
they don't see in color.
The way that it's delivered to you is still in black and white. I gotta look at
it's different shades of gray, basically.
Yeah.
Is that what they're getting at?
Well, I think they just assigned certain numbers to make our eyes see, 3 colors, RGB.
Yeah.
I see a lot of colors out of that.
Red, it's cyan,
CMYK.
Red, and it's red, yellow, and blue.
Yeah.
Like look at the Synchronicity album from the Police. It has the swaths. That's what all the printers use. It's 3 colors, and it makes every color under the rainbow somehow.
Right.
It's really weird. Like we see this really narrow spectrum of what's out there to see. Like they've already done the math on it. It's less than 1% of what's actually known to exist in the universe is able to be seen by the human brain because we see in such a narrow spectrum of what's able to be seen, like cats. It's proven by science.
Yeah.
So because they've detected all this other matter, but in visual, other spectrums of sight, I should say.
Yeah.
That are possible. So we can't see in infrared and different things like that.
Right.
There's a lot of different things you could see in if you had the right type of brain to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, what do we have? 5 senses?
Yeah, well, so a flying saucer shows up. Yeah, we only have 5. Right. What is that? I'm going to see if I can do it.
It could be several
it's
more.
Touch, smell, taste, hearing, and...
touch.
I already did that. Fuck.
Oh, you did?
I never can get them all.
So either way, man, like
everybody at home
you
can just get mad
one more
and put it in the
sense
comments.
after that.
Okay.
What would it be?
It would be your ESP, your extrasensory perception.
So like,
I think I have ESP.
Telepathy or being able to read someone else's mind.
I think, yeah.
Would you be able to communicate with them, or would you only be able to?
I think if the other person's able to do it, like every once in a while, I may hear, like, I may get an inclination. So
everyone's got a sixth sense.
Yeah.
All right.
I think people sometimes, I don't think it's just me, that sometimes you think you hear somebody say something in your mind. Now, that could be like social anxiety driven. It could be schizophrenia. It could be an act of imagination.
I think
there could be a lot of driving factors for hearing a voice that's imaginary.
Yeah.
However, sometimes it comes through really clearly, and it may be appropriate, and it may match the person's energy, and that could just be what you're hearing.
Maybe that's just schizophrenia.
It's just you it's probably like noticing somebody's reaction and trying to put words to what you're saying, like if they were going to say something.
Yeah.
Which is more like the social anxiety aspect of it, but
yeah,
I don't understand how it all works, but there's a lot of different ways we're all over the place now. We're talking about just about every aspect of being human tonight on the podcast. How long has this gone on?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I got a dry mouth
Way too long.
What are we at? 2 hours now?
No.
My family's asleep probably.
We got 56.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. We always go on a ride with...
It's 10 o'clock, man.
We always go on a ride with these. Yeah, man, that's good enough.
I'm good.
Hey, man. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Had a lot of fun talking, and
it was great,
probably lost the plot at some point, but if you anything I said, you can fact check, look it up. Most of the stuff is right. I kind of try to, I go off memory. I have some notes I try to take now, but most of the things that I think of as we're talking, is by memory. So I can get some of it wrong.
I mean, most of it is us just,
hopefully a little bit's right.
Most of it actually boils down to us, just being able to have a conversation.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, man.
Yeah.
But, if we're going to send it out, you got to make sure.
Fun.
If you're going to send it out, you got to make sure you're a little bit not full of shit. At least fact check yourself. So fact check me. If I get something wrong, put it in the comments, man. If anybody watches this, I think how many followers we got now?
I don't know.
Did you stop it?
I'm gonna stop it now.
No, don't stop it yet. Hold on. Well, how many followers do we have? Do you know?
I was gonna say
because we need people to like and subscribe.
I remember how many there were yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Well, it's barely over 100. We squeaked over 100 at some point. The point is we don't want to we don't boost our posts yet. You know, I don't want to pay a bunch of money. I'm hoping that people will share it and just kind of if they enjoy the conversation, we'll listen back and see if anybody would even care. But
so you can't just
they may be fun conversations.
I'd
like to
jump
organically
on social media and make a podcast and not have to follow the crazy algorithm.
Yeah, like the game. Play the game with the algorithm
pieces.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just want to make some content and hopefully people will like and share it. So that's the point. That's what drives the algorithm is you have to actually comment and you have to. So just say go fuck yourselves or something. I don't care.
Yeah,
just comment. Tell us we're wrong about everything. Tell me I'm whatever you want to say. I'll try not to get triggered. I love everybody. So we're going to get through this. No civil war is necessary. We can figure this out.
Oh, the civil war, yeah.
Sounds like they're going to try to cool it down out in Minnesota. Let's hope they do,
Yeah.
So for everybody's sake. Yeah. Dogs barking.
See what happens.
Well, we'll call it a night. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Cheers,
Love
cheers.
y'all.
Yeah.
Peace.